and among
No,
these...
no, 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 sit. Julian, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Oscar Schindler.
Leo Jorn.
Franz, good to see you.
Hello, Oscar. Glad you could join
My
us.
pleasure, my pleasure. Julian.
How are you?
Good.
You lost weight.
On in the shoulders. Please, everybody, sit down. How you doing? Oscar Schindler.
We started without you.
Fine. I miss anything good?
I was explaining to Herr Bosch and Herr Madrich.
I was just watching Schindler's List, and that moment there when Schindler and Aman, I think his name is, they call him or something, the guy in the end there, he's the sniper that sits up on the balcony and shoots any workers he doesn't like sitting around, just, or you know, if they're not working, or just shoots them if he doesn't feel like, you know, feels like it. But going back through those years in my history, I was actually connected to this story because in my memory, I mean, this is a fictional story based on the war. There's not meant to be any link to any person living or dead in films like this, unless it says it's autobiographical or something. So these two characters, Oskar Schindler and this one, the sniper, I think you call him Aman, or I missed his name, they call him in there, are actually the same person in reality, in history. Oscar, I don't like to say his surname, so I just say Oscar the Grouch is the way I was known as Oscar the Grouch. I looked a bit like Elvis, I sort of looked a bit more like him. Kind of similar, but yeah, similar faces. He looks a bit like my old friend Callum. I sort of always think of Liam Neeson a bit like Callum, but I don't think Callum was involved in this. But yeah, I was definitely this figure, but sort of both, you know. And yeah, I was sort of always upset during the war as a little boy going through it. By the time I was about his age, I was about 17, towards the end of the war, and I started out, I think it went for like, how long was the war? 4 years or something? 38 till, I can't think when it went now. It was 40 to 44 or something. Yeah, something like that, wasn't it? But anyway, so yeah, I used to go around shooting anyone who looked sick, who I thought wasn't was just going to make the place stink up and not. It's kind of humane, but the way I did it was sort of inhumane, I suppose, in front of everyone. And I just walk around with a pistol or up on the balcony with a sniper and just knock off the sick ones. I thought were no good for the camp. So, but before I was actually 18, the war ended, and I realised, because I dealt with all the guilt and stuff, and I realised how wrong it was. So, I set up trust funds and foundations to help all the Jewish people recover from the war. And I was just a victim of it myself. I was a little child when it started. So by the time it was over, I'd sort of, I was a tough little guy, but really just a mess by the end of it. And I just tried to help everyone and recover and get over it. And I think that's what this is based on. Oscar the Grouch, I was known as. I think they use that in Sesame Street. Yeah, I'm not sure why they put him in the dustbin, but maybe it goes back to my other life when I was killed, upturned in a dustbin. I don't know. It's funny how karma works, how things happen like that, isn't it? But I could go on about the history. I don't want to say his name because the family might be upset. Any of the existing family, and I don't want to upset anyone telling stories, but I like telling all of my memories and things of life. And I can go right back to before I was human. I was a Hydra, and then I became this Spartan army. And this guy was one of my Spartan sort of warriors. It's hard for people to understand. I'm bigger than one person, really. I always was bigger than one person. I was sort of a 300 strong army all my life, plus the body of Christ. I'd love to tell the story on in film one day about the true story of Christ, how it really happened, and you'd be blown away the way it really happened. So I get really emotional. It's nothing like the stories they do in the movies. It's really different. The reality of it was incredibly cruel and brutal, but in a way, I never really suffered. It was funny. I never really got hurt. I wasn't afraid. The fact I wasn't afraid saved me. If I had shown any fear, I would have been harmed. So, yeah, it's funny how it worked. But anyway, this is me later in life as a sort of dealing with all that, I guess, in some way. Oh, it's switched off. So yeah, that's my cinema anyway. My big cinema screen, my fish tank. I just love this room now. I want to really do it up and put a nice big round sofa that goes all the way around the wall, and put up my red curtains, my cinema curtains, and I don't mind my screen. It's a little bit saggy, I mentioned this, but I kind of like that, how it just blows a bit in the air, and I really love it. Anyway,